Welcome to the Good Pod, where today we're talking The Good Wife, Season 4, Episode 9, Defense of a Marriage. I am one of your hosts, Jason Reed. With me, as always, Marissa Garza. Marissa, you good?
I'm good, Jason. You good?
I'm good. Marissa,
yeah.
Look at my right hand. Look at my right hand.
Oh my God, it's the right hand.
This is the hand
I don't want to know. Do I want to know?
Some stuff you don't want to know, okay? But this is the hand I used to log on to this podcast today.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
To come on to this podcast and talk about this episode of this show that we all love, okay? And I promised the Kings that I would podcast about this whole series of this show, no matter what. You're not gonna have me not podcast about this show. Okay?
Am I trying to stop you?
I promise the Kings.
Well, okay.
I promise with this hand.
Okay.
With this hand. I shook their hand.
Okay.
I said, I promise you.
I don't want to come between you and the King.
All of it. Don't do it. We are close personal friends. Okay. That was quite a moment. I love that Will was not having any of it. He's like, this guy is bullshit. Okay.
It's like Will is also though like, I'll save that one in my back pocket. Like,
right. Will's like, Will's jealous for sure. Like, I'm
I
should
have thought of that.
Good show. It's such a good show there. I'm gonna keep that right hand thing in my back pocket for later. But yes, here we are, season 4, episode 9. Weirdly, the Thanksgiving episode, and here we are.
I know,
days away from Thanksgiving. How these things matched up is beyond us. We didn't even plan that at all. It just so happens to be.
It's because you promised the Kings with your right hand.
I promised with my hand. I said every holiday episode we're going to do right around the real holiday. And listen, honestly, this is the 4th season. This is like the first Thanksgiving episode.
Yeah.
And for it to fall on, real Thanksgiving, it's
fantastic.
It's good.
I mean, we'll talk about how fantastic it actually was, but yes, great timing.
We'll say that for the Marissa Bummer segment of the podcast. Before we get started in earnest on this episode, we want to remind you of some free and easy ways you can support this podcast. You can do that by reviewing, rating, subscribing, wherever it is you're watching and or listening. We haven't had a Apple Podcast review in quite some time, so we would love it if you would pop into your Apple Podcast catcher and leave us a 5-star review. Would love that. Also, if you're on Spotify, you can also leave us just a 5-star review. You can also comment on the episode via Spotify. We'd love that as well. You can also hit us up if you have any questions, comments, feedback at the goodpodfeedback@gmail.com if you want to hit us up there as well. You can also, if you choose to help us out, you can donate over on buymeacoffee.com/goodpod. Any sums, small or large, we would really appreciate it.
Jason, so I've been watching The American Revolution by Ken Burns on PBS. Okay.
This is where I check out. Go ahead.
No. When it starts, like, there's always the American Revolution was brought to you by the So-and-so Foundation, the blah and blah foundation. This could be you. You could be our sponsors. And also, I just want to let you know that there are 2 people in this episode that are in the American Revolution.
Hey.
Okay. So there is the connection. If you want to, the Good Pod brought to you by listeners like you.
Listen, we would do that if you decide to donate and you want us to shout you out, like this episode sponsored by, it'd be like Sesame Street. This episode was brought to you by the letter A.
Right.
We'll do that. We'll 100% do that. Just leave it in the comments, in your little donation. I want to be an official sponsor of an episode. We'll do that. We'll do that for sure.
Do you want to know who the 2 people are?
Yes, go ahead. Go for it.
One is Yule, who is Yule Vasquez, I think.
Oh, Christian. Okay.
Christian, yes. And the other is none other than Mr. Josh Charles.
Josh Charles, aka future Doc Martin, who if you haven't seen the news, he's gonna be the new Doc Martin. And I don't even think the show's called Doc Martin.
Not the shoes. Doc Martens.
Oh yeah, not the shoes. He's going to be, because what was it, Marissa? You're more into this thing than I am. Doc Martin was a BBC show about a doctor in a small town.
Yes, doctors, very quintessential British procedural type of thing. Mm-hmm. but he is going to be playing the Doctor
Yeah.
in
So
this
got a
new
got a
venture.
new. Josh Charles has a new show coming out, so that'll be fun. Josh Charles, who I also love because he narrates some football documentary things that I love.
Also, the American Revolution. He doesn't narrate it, but he's there.
What does he do? Does he just talk about the American
So,
Revolution
have you
stuff?
ever watched the Ken Burns documentary? Have you ever? In your okay, well, Jason, you're missing out. It's 12 hours of fun.
Oh, sorry.
But what he does, like the way that Ken Burns tells the stories, there's a narrator, not just Charles, but then he assigns like quotes from actual people to actors to read. And so Josh Charles is reading from a couple of different like historical figures, but they got Paul Giamatti to do John Adams because he did John Adams for the miniseries. Laura Linney's in there, Claire Danes is in there, Ellen Alda's in there, or not Ellen Alda, Adam Arkin is in there.
All the great whites.
Well, but also what's great about this is that there are actually, and then I'll get off my soapbox, there are actually Black historians, Black women historians, and Native historians for the first time ever, really, in a like that I've seen in a documentary. And they talk about what was going on in the Native community while, everything else was going on. Because it wasn't just a war on the coast, it was a war everywhere. And so I highly recommend, if you're in the, hey, I feel crappy about America because it's Thanksgiving, if you want to do more of that, you got 6 hours on PBS. If you download the PBS app, or 6 episodes, 12 hours, download the PBS app. It's free until I think through December. So check it out. If that's ever a plug.
Boy.
I really sell it, don't I?
PBS is getting a big bump for, the Sesame Street reference. Now this. Well, I mean, listen, PBS no longer the home of Sesame Street.
Well, that's not their fault.
Yeah, not their fault at all. And listen, so for all you fellow nerds out there like Marissa, that's something for you to look forward to. This is like your Super Bowl, I suppose.
It is. It really is.
A new Ken Burns documentary. Get hyped.
Yeah, get hyped. It's so good. I still have to finish the rest of it, but like I am not even looking on my phone when I'm watching it. It's that good. Anywho, okay, should we talk about this case? Should we talk about the episode?
Let's do it. Let's do what we came here for.
All right. This week, the case of the week was about tax fraud and DOMA. You may be asking yourself, well, can you remind me what DOMA is, and also what does that have to do with tax fraud? We're gonna tell you. So TaxLaunch.com is in court for a fraud case. We've got the CEO Foster and the CFO Lamborn, accused of huge IRS fraud over like $400 million. So this case, they are co-defendants in this case. Like the ASA is putting this together, and the ASA that we see on this side is none other than Bucky.
Bucky's back.
Last episode.
Well, it was a couple episodes ago.
It
was our most recent military case.
Yes.
Where Laura
Captain
Harringer, where she was introduced. Interestingly enough, now Bucky and Laura are working in the same office. I didn't even think of that.
I know.
Just now.
So
I wonder if that's
along with Geneva.
Along with Geneva, Matan, all the gang. So I just wonder if that's ever going to come up. I just thought about that right now because they just faced each other in court not that long ago, and now they're working in the same place.
We'll see. We'll see.
But what this case is about basically is like there were fraudulent tax returns filed, and all the returns from all of those tax returns in the hundreds all went to the same address. I would think if you are perpetrating tax fraud, you should be a little smarter than that, right? Wouldn't you think?
Well, we have a felon in the White House, Jason. I don't really know what to tell you.
This is really an America. We love America.
We love it. But also, reach across the aisle and eat some turkey together, because then you can take a nap. Yes. That
it's like we had 300 tax returns, all sent their returns to the one address. Don't you think that's a little suspicious? Like, well, yeah, duh. Like, why would you do that?
Well, and because of that, like the CEO and the CFO are being tried together, but the defense is like, no, this is like two different things. And the defense being Lockhart Gardner basically wants to split this case. And the judge here, who is also Bebe Neuwirth, the judge is, we've seen her here before, but she's a legend in her own right, denies this, and a wiretap comes into play. And they're saying we cannot use this because of spousal privilege. Okay. So I want to like just put this little time mark in here. This episode came out in 2012, I think. Yeah, 2012. And in 2012, we were living with the Defense of Marriage Act, which sounds like it's cool and fun. But in 1996, the U.S. law federally defined marriage as a union between one man and one woman and prevented states from requiring them to recognize same-sex marriages from other states. So this is the landscape in which everyone is living under, but particularly queer people have to deal with in 2012. We didn't get same-sex marriage until 2015 when the Supreme Court ruled in Obergefell versus Hodges, which, just FYI, not seeable ground in 2025, like a lot of things. So who knows what this landscape will look like in a few years. But at the time of this case, claiming spousal privilege, if you are in a relationship with another, you are a man in a relationship with another man, is something that would cause a little bit of discussion.
Yeah, for sure. And when we start this case, it's about the wiretap from the CEO and his wife. So at first it's like, wait, that's not cool. And Bucky's trying to argue, well, the wife was in on it, so it should be allowed. And the honorable Judge Friend says, well, prove to me that she's a co-conspirator and we'll let it in. And so for now, we're kind of in a like holding pattern because you gotta work on the state has to work on proving that the wife is a co-conspirator so they can allow the tape to be let into evidence, because apparently this has some rather damning evidence to the CEO.
Yes, I forgot about that wiretap. I was thinking about the other one, which is
that comes in a little later.
Yes, which was between Lamborn and his husband Warren. And that's where DOMA comes into play. And so can they have spousal privilege? Not really. Even though the prosecution is claims no spousal privilege because of DOMA, and the defense is like, well, they were legally married in Vermont at this time. There were some states where you could, but you couldn't be recognized in other states. So if they were legally married in Vermont and they're in Illinois, not much the judge could do. But the judge is like, okay, prepare briefs. Let's find out what marriage means to these people.
Yeah, it's basically like, can we prove that this is should we look at this as a real marriage? Which kind of, as we'll talk about later, was kind of nonsense in the first place, because it felt like the judge is going to do what the judge did no matter what. But I think for the theater of it all, we'll go into what marriages these people have fun with it. I did love, like, because last time we saw Bucky, right, was this military case that it was our people against the military. And Bucky was representing the alleged sexual abuser, where at the end of it, Bucky was kind of like, yeah, you suck, guy. Like, I don't like, it seemed like Bucky had to defend this person, but did not agree with what he was doing. Now Bucky's kind of like, Bucky's getting shitty again, right? Because Bucky in the evolution of this case where he's questioning Warren and Dale, I think the names were, Dale is Mr. Lamborn, the CEO, Warren is his husband, and he keeps referring to Warren as Dale's boyfriend, where it's like, you know what you're doing, because, well, I guess in Bucky's mind, I can't refer to him as a husband because I'm arguing the fact that this isn't a real marriage,
right?
But it's still a shitty thing to do.
Totally. And I mean, everything that happens to Warren and Lamborn, like, not great this entire episode. Like, at this point, we're introduced to Jeremy Breslow, who comes in, this is my right hand. Look at my right hand.
Look at my right hand.
It's the right hand that shook the hand of my brother who was dying of AIDS. And I promised I would fight for the end of DOMA and all this stuff. He comes in, lots of big fanfare, right? Lots of things. And like, this is like everything that like Lamborn and Warren want to hear, right? Like, yeah, you're gonna fight for me. Like, this is great. So you're gonna kind of have to let him on the team, guys.
Well, yeah, I love how Breslow was introduced, because he's just in the lobby, and Cary being Cary, comes up to him, he's like, Mr. Breslow, like I heard you speak at Yale because I went to Yale, and it was one of the best moments of my life. And he like walks into the like a meeting that Alicia Diane and Will are having about this case, and we'll talk about the weird looks that Cary gets and why he gets weird looks, which is hilarious in the first place. It's like, you guys, Jeremy Breslow is here, and yeah, Breslow comes in, does his whole shtick.
And he like not only like he's throwing in like Stonewall, Harvey Milk, like he's saying all
Diane,
the right things.
He's like, he's making like Diane Lockhart, Will Gardner. Your names could be along with those people. He's like really trying to sell him hard on taking him aboard the defense, right? Like because he has to kind of convince them to let him on the defense. And at first, Will's like, this man is BS. He's like, he calls him Barnum and Bailey, like he's a salesman. He's a shuckster. He's like, this isn't about him. It's not going to be about the client. It's not going to be about anything else. It's going to be about Breslow. Breslow's going to make it about him, and this is a victory for him and what he's doing, because this guy is, Cary knows this guy. This guy is a big Supreme Court lawyer.
Yeah, he's argued in front of the Supreme Court. So like when someone like that walks in, first of all, he was also very like, I'm meditating.
Yeah.
He was very zen. But when he comes in, everyone's kind of surprised, like, why are you dealing with this? But as the American justice system is set up to do, and as people will do to marginalized communities, he sees this as an opportunity to lose this case and appeal it all the way up to the Supreme Court to get rid of DOMA. Like that's his end game. His end game is to end DOMA. These poor people just want to not be convicted of tax fraud. You know what I mean?
Right. And it's that fine line, because it is a noble cause, I will say. But what is the cost, right?
Exactly.
What is the cost to these individual people? What is the cost to our people that are trying to win this case? Because it's a lot of things going into play here. And we find out, like, at first our people are like, we don't need him. Get him out of here. But then we find out that the co-defendant, the CEO, had the charges dropped against him by the state, and now the state's going to flip him against our guy Dale to make him the fall guy of this. So it's like, oh crap! Like, yeah, I guess now we gotta take Breslow on, because now this is definitely going to be a DOMA issue, because if that wiretap goes in, it's going to be an issue for us. So we have to fight this thing tooth and nail. So we have to take on Breslow.
So they do, and it's like super crowded in the court. I did enjoy that little comedic timing of that, like when the judge is like, do we need to get you another table? Like, are you guys okay? It's a little crowded over there.
And I love the sight gag, right? Because it's a visual representation of what has happened here. Breslow has come in and pushed Diane and Alicia to the back at the kids' table. Like, the fact they had their own little table that only Diane and Alicia sat at is like a visual representation. Like, oh, like, I mean, like, listen, speaking of Thanksgiving, you're sitting at the kids' table. You're sitting, you're not with the adults. You're in your own little world over here on the table. And Breslow has come in and just taken over everything.
And in some families, the kids' table is the place to be.
That's the best spot to be in.
In others, it's a really short and uncomfortable table to sit in if you're an adult. So in this case, I think, Diane and Alicia, they're also like trying to get their words in. Like, they're trying to get Breslow to like pay attention to what they know about the case, but he is definitely like curbing every single suggestion as he can. He does get the attorney general, former attorney general, on the stand, basically saying the current administration sees DOMA as discriminatory, but also we can't give federal budget or benefits to same-sex couples at the moment.
Yeah, I think Bucky does a great job here, because Bucky's like, because Breslow's up there talking to the former attorney general, and he's like, obviously you can tell that this guy and the former attorney general know each other, because they're using like shorthand with each other. And he's like, so tell us about how the government feels about DOMA. And the guy's like, oh, the government hates DOMA. They don't agree with it, blah, blah, blah. And so Bucky gets up there. Bucky's like, so I mean, the government hates DOMA, right? Like, yeah, that's what I said. He's like, but the government doesn't
do anything about it.
Yeah, they don't recognize all these other entitlements, like Medical benefits shared between same-sex spouses. Do they do that? No. Social security benefits, do they share those with same-sex couples? No. So what you're telling me is that the government doesn't agree with it, but they still really uphold it, don't do anything to fight back against it? How does that make sense? I was
Well,
like,
and
ooh, that was a good one.
yeah, and also like spousal privilege can't be used here because it's not like those other things are not even being held up.
Yeah,
So
exactly. So I love that from Bucky. Smart move, good move.
Bucky,
And you know, Alicia and Diane are sitting here hearing Bucky basically like go on and on and on about like basically they call him out for like this guy is up here testifying the case. It was not what a lawyer's job is. They want to
right,
object, and Breslow is literally just sitting there letting Bucky do this.
because
And yeah,
he wants to lose.
yeah, he's trying to throw the case, and Alicia has had quite enough of this. she's fuming because Breslow won't say anything. So Alicia gets up and objects, and which causes like a tizzy everywhere. The judge is like, you can't object to anything because you did not, you know, introduce this witness to the proceedings. Only Breslow can do that because Breslow was the one that questioned him first, which I didn't even know that was a thing.
Sure.
And Breslow himself is like, you will stop interfering. I dictate the pace and the questioning of this trial. I was like, oh, okay. That's where we're at. All right. So yeah, Breslow's obviously now trying to just like throw the case. So he can use this as a pet cause to introduce the DOMA thing to Supreme Court.
Yeah. Yeah. Bucky also get Dale Lamborn on the stand and questions him about something that he knows as free Fridays. And you know, it could have been like free appetizers at TGI Fridays. It could have been anything, but I don't think that's what it was. It was more along the lines of an open relationship. So not only is he trying to define his marriage with another man, but now he's trying to define open marriage, which again is 2012. We weren't there yet. We're not even there now. But
yeah,
you know, like
trust me, we're not there now. Because I looked at my wife, I said, I heard about this thing called Free Fridays, and did not go well. Let's just say that.
Did not go well, but
that was a joke. That was a joke.
I missed it though.
I tried to introduce my wife to Free Fridays and it did not go well.
Oh yeah, no, don't do that to her if she doesn't want it. Yes. So, but then at this point, they reveal that Foster, the CEO, had several affairs of his own, like up to like at first it was like 5, but Breslow is like actually it's 12, and so the argument here is like marriage is messy no matter what.
Yeah, and you know, it's a very kind of like 2012 move to be like, oh, these gay people, they're so free sexually. These are not real relationships because they do all this freaky stuff. And it's like, oh no, sweetie, like heterosexual couples have the same issues. Listen, at least this is a open arrangement between Dale and Warren.
Understanding.
I don't think Foster has the same arrangement with his wife. I think he's just cheating on his wife.
Yeah, exactly. So the judge rules because, you know, of DOMA, and DOMA is federal law, so we must apply it. So therefore, same-sex spousal privilege is denied. So we can use the wiretap.
I'm like, so why did we go through all this rigmarole if you were just going to say DOMA is the law and we got to follow it? Why did we even go through all this if you were just going to rule that way in the first place? Which, you know, I guess if you're like, well, Jason, it's a show, so we wanted to have some fun. So
well, and also they wanted to like educate the audience, like everyone's marriage, like it doesn't matter who you are, message or marriage can be messy.
Exactly. But it's like, why, Judge Friend, why did you have us go through all this and you're just going to rule that it's law in the first place, which it was 2 days ago when you were like, well, I gotta decide.
Well, I think that yeah, that's true. This is a battle loss for the defense, but not the end of the war. But Bucky sees this as an opportunity and he goes and he puts in an offer, right? Like he's like, hey, we could do 25 million or 20. Yeah, he makes an offer.
Well, there's some of the things happen before this. Because before this, we do get to hear the wiretap from between Dale and Warren.
I thought that go ahead.
So we hear the wiretap. Dale, this is basically Dale telling Warren he's not sure he did anything wrong, but it could be seen as him doing something wrong, which is not totally damning evidence. And Breslow does not want to cross-examine Dale
Right.
to have Dale explain what he meant in the wiretap. And Alicia and Diane are again like, what the hell, bro? We have to defend ourselves against this wiretap thing. And Breslow's like, nah, we're good. So at that point, they kind of put Dale in a spot where it's like, well, Dale, you got to like, is it going to be us or it's going to be Breslow? Like, we're trying to help you. Breslow is trying to sink you right now. And this is where like and Dale sides with Breslow, so we're not going to have Dale explain any of the wiretap or anything. And after they get out of court, this is where Diane like confronts Breslow, like, you're trying to make us lose. It's like, so you can try and fight DOMA in court, and you're trying to lose so you can use this case as precedent. Breslow doesn't really flat out deny this. He's just like, no, I want to win. I want to win it all for all of us, which means basically like, yeah, I'm doing this for what I believe is the greater good, because I can use this to win for everyone, but we have to lose this one for me to do that. Which he doesn't say that outright. That's kind of what he means when he goes, I'm trying to win it for all of us. Like, okay, gotcha. Diane is rightfully annoyed. We then see the CEO back on the stand where he's literally trying to throw Dale on the bus, saying all the fraudulent stuff, that was all his idea. And we again want to cross-examine this guy. Breslow again is like, nah, I think we're good. We need to cross-examine this guy. And then Diane and Alicia are like, Dale, let us help you. This man is lying about you. We need to answer that now. And Dale's like, okay, I guess so. He sides with Alicia and Diane at this point.
Yeah. I think there, where I was coming from was there was like Bucky did offer something, but that's when like Diane and Alicia were like, we should consider this, we should take it, and Breslow was like, nah. Like,
well, no, that comes after this moment, because Alicia and Diane start playing the wiretap from Foster and his wife that wasn't allowed previously, but they're like, hey, we said we weren't going to play that, right? Because it's spousal privilege. And Alicia pulls out it was spousal privilege when Foster was a defendant. He is no longer a defendant. He's just a witness. So now we can play it. Which is like, we play it, and in this, Dale basically like admits to the fraud. He's like, you know what would happen if this fraud was discovered? So obviously it's him being like basically acknowledging that he knows about the fraud, which then triggers Bucky into making this offer, because now it's like, oh, okay, well, let me try and recoup some losses. Let me at least get, because he offers 4 months in jail and $500,000 fine for Dale, because I think now he knows, like, well, there's a chance we can lose this, because now with that Foster wiretap, it shows Foster is complicit in this. But let me try and get something out of Dale, and that's what this offer was. It's like 4 months jail, $500K in restitution, which they're all like, I love this, because Bucky comes in, he offers it, and they're like, all right, like, wait for him to turn the corner, like, wait for him to leave till we can't see him anymore, and then we can all celebrate.
Except for Breslow, who's like, no, don't do it. And I just feel bad for for Dale and Warren, because Owen is also sticking around in this, which we'll talk about in a minute. But before they go in to hear this news, Owen goes up to these two men and are like, thank you. As the gay man, everything you're doing, like, this is huge. And it's like the pressure, when you are like the example, right? Like when you are the first one to break a barrier, when everything, like, the amount of pressure that's on the shoulders of these guys, they get this plea deal, and then Breslow comes in and just reinforces it's not about you. It's about the community. Like, you could be doing this for everyone. But in the end, they decide they are not taking the plea.
Yeah, that was really interesting, because they're first celebrating. They're like, only 4 months in jail? Great. I'll take that. Because even though it seems like Owen, not Owen, even though it seems like Dale didn't do this and wasn't like really aware of what was going on, he's still going to have to take some kind of fall, because he's like, well, I thought I was going to get 12 years and they're only offering 4 months. I'll freaking take it.
Yeah.
And in this moment where you mentioned where Owen is in the lobby and talking to Warren, and he's like, you were doing so much for the gay community. Like, yeah, really loving it. Which is not not what Warren needed to hear as he's going in and
No.
hearing from Breslow, who is being like, yeah, you can take this 4 months, you can do your time, but what is that going to do for the cause, the gay cause, right? You guys really want, you need to fight this. This is not just about you. It's about everyone. It's about sacrifice. And partly because Warren just got this like nice message from Owen about fighting for the gays. Oh, Owen helped Breslow's cause and he didn't even realize he did. And Warren's like, I think we should, fight it. Which is like, oh, like Diane and Alicia are so annoyed. Like, oh my God, we had it in the bag. Then Breslow comes in here with his, selling job and gets them to turn down this offer. And I love Diane's like, well, all we gotta do now is we gotta do something else. And she's like, do you mean win? She's like, yeah, we gotta F and win this thing now. Cause we can't let this go. We can't let this thing go, too. And I think it's interesting because I think Diane is in an interesting like conundrum here. Because I think we know Diane is like super liberal. And
she considers herself to be, yes.
Considers herself to be super liberal. And I'm sure she has empathy for the cause and all this, but also she want to win. Okay.
Well, not at the expense of the firm.
Yeah.
Not at the expense of, what I mean? Like, I'm sure she was like super excited. She's like, Jeremy Breslow, liberal lion. Like, I'm so excited that like this guy is in my office. So great. But at the end of the day, it wasn't what's best for the client nor the firm.
Right. And that's their job, is to fight for their client no matter what. And so now she's kind of like, I don't care what Breslow says. I don't even care what Dale says. Yeah, he's our client, but Dale's acting up. So now we got to just win this thing. So the choice is taken out of Dale's hands, whether or not to take a plea offer or whatever. Because if we let that go, then Dale's going to choose the harder way for the quote unquote sacrifice. So we just got to win it. It's almost like Thanos putting on the Infinity Gauntlet. Like, fine, I'll do it myself.
Yes. So determined to win, they bring in an IT guy, Colegio, who says that Dale is innocent, and the servers were down in the time of question, and he could not have seen or been impacted by this at all. Yeah. Breslow's like, okay, that's cool. Like, do you think Dale's an honest man?
Yeah. Well, because Diane's leading the questioning at first. Diane's done. She's like, all right, cool. I did that. I did the thing. Done. Then Breslow gets up. He's like, oh, hey, by the way, do you think Dale's an honest guy? And everyone's just kind of like, huh? Like,
where's this coming from?
What'd you hear that for? And then,
And Colegio's like, yeah, I mean, I trust this guy with my life. Like, that's great. And because Breslow opened up this door, like this was a character question, right? Like this was a question to Dale's character. Bucky seizes this moment and it's like, hey, about that character. Did you ever sleep with that character? Did you ever have a moment with that character? And Diane tries to object, but Bucky says that because Barlow asked about, Colegio's thoughts about Dale, that he is able to ask this question.
Yeah, and this is what this is Breslow not just like sitting back and letting things happen. This is him actively trying to sink this thing because he knew what he was doing. I wouldn't even put it past Breslow to like conspire with Bucky before this question happened. Like,
for sure.
Like, listen, I'm gonna do this, so that's your cue to ask him about if they ever banged each other. And so Alicia's like, you're trying to screw us. Breslow's like, I'm just trying to play long ball, ma'am. Just trying to play long ball. It's like, we're not even hiding it anymore. You're like, that you're just like trying to tank us. Like at that point, I wonder what the process is to be like, we are not like, Breslow is no longer part of our defense team. Do they have to go to Dale and be like, Dale? Well, Dale has been like bamboozled by Breslow already. Yes. So Dale is already fine with losing this thing. So, he
was down for the cause. Like was.
Yeah, Alicia and Diane are fighting against everybody here at this point. They're fighting against their client. They're fighting against this co-counsel they now have. They're fighting against Bucky. They're on all sides fighting everybody now.
Later, randomly, Kalinda and Alicia and Cary were at the bar together. And Kalinda's like, hey, oh yeah, by the way, so there was like an overtap on the tap, which means there were two people tapping. There were two taps.
There's a lot of tapping going on in this episode.
Tappa.
in all ways, there was some tapping going on. Okay.
So they're like, oh, okay. Well, then what else was going on? Someone else must have been investigating Dale. We gotta figure this out. Good thing they did that episode a while ago that I completely forgot about, but it still remembers all about wiretapping. Remember when it was like the 2516 or whatever?
Yep.
Bucky comes back and we tell him that the state is investigating on some embezzlement charges. The second tap gives us some more info, including that Foster, the CEO, has a yacht purchased with the money from the fraudulent returns. And he admitted this in a call to who? His wife?
Mistress.
His CFO? His best friend? No. His mistress. So they aren't going to take the plea bargain at the end of the day, and they present this to court. And if they present it to court, it'll embarrass the state. Breslow's annoyed because his cause is like down the drain at this point, and he's like, "You just stuck us with DOMA for another decade." Okay, it only took 3 years. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
listen.
but also, yes.
I mean, and it wouldn't have been a guarantee that you're gonna, because you lost this case, that we were gonna like get rid of DOMA. That would have been a guarantee, Breslow. Okay.
Well, and it could have taken 10 years to get to the Supreme Court. Also,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
stick it in your ear. We do like I guess like we do get like a little more resolution to this within the family story, because when all the families at Thanksgiving dinner, we see on TV that Breslow is doing some kind of interview on TV where he's like, well, I could have lost this case. We could have used that, but I decided it was for the betterment of the client that we win this case. And Alicia and Diane are like, bullshit. Like, hey, this freaking guy over here.
Yes, exactly. Before we jump into the family stuff, let's talk about the Cary of it all. Because that's where our episode started. Cary's just like stopping by Nick's, place of business, aka tow truck land. And
well, let's remind the listeners where we left off last episode, where a figure that looks kind of like Cary was getting his ass. It was so bad. It was obviously a stunt double that like had a like barely a resemblance to Cary in that he was a white blonde person, was getting his ass beat in the rain in the parking garage. And so now Cary shows up at Nick's tow yard. Did you think Cary should have had some more like, because did he put makeup on? Like,
I don't know, like the blackest of eyes that I would have expected, and always like it could have had like a limp or a splint or something like that, like just something like, or sling,
like a little blemish on his face. It's like, I feel like he should have had a lot more damage from what we saw.
It was a very direct black eye. It like wasn't like, it was like, how did your eyeball not fall out? If it was just because it was basically just eyeshadow, it wasn't anything like around the eye or anything.
They could have done a better job with that. I think we should have we should have like a little scene with Cary where he's like getting ready for the day. He's putting on his shirt, like ow, like we should like see bruises all over him or something. We see him putting makeup on his face to cover the black eye, because when I look at Cary, I'm like, that's it. That's all you got from that beat down, was like a little bit of bruising around your eye. And then whenever he interacts with anybody else in the episode, they're like, oh my God, Cary, what happened? He's like, basketball injury. I'd be like, nah, son, I'm snitching. I'm like, Nick had his people come beat me up. I got my ass beat in the garage.
He wants to catch him in something good. He wants to make sure that this guy goes down, because he comes up to Nick and says, hey, first of all, Nick's like, where'd you get that? He's like, oh yeah, basketball. Like, again, everybody, basketball, elbow to the eye, whatever. But Cary's like, did I ever tell you I worked for the state's attorney? But that's something I mentioned, because I know that there were drugs found in a couple of the cars that you've been towing and all this stuff. And so I just want to let you know that I looked into it. Like, for your protection, I am talking to the state's attorney's office about you. Is that cool? Like, just FYI, that's what I'm doing. That's the type of lawyer I am. You don't have to worry about it. Like, I am here to protect you. And I think he's doing this because, one, he wants to threaten him, but two, if Nick does something at all, he's going to jail like in 2 seconds.
Yeah, I love the kind of like light intimidation that Cary was practicing here. Like, hey, I got connections, I got
Yes,
resources,
yes. I
so
also
don't f
love,
with me.
yeah. I also loved how because Cary and Alicia like share the office. Cary, this entire episode was basically like kicked out of the office and
Yeah,
sitting outside,
so
like
funny.
waiting on the,
Like a
the
little
bench.
kid, like a little
Yeah,
kid being put out of his mommy's office.
it was
Um,
so funny.
and also like we also got to like learn a little bit more about like what Nick's operation is, because this
Hmm.
is how Nick is dealing drugs. He's making sure the drugs are in the trunk of cars that he is transporting via his tow trucks, so that they can have, you know, plausible deniability, be like, oh, I didn't know there were drugs in the car, what do you mean, I was just towing the car.
Yep.
So it's nice to get a little more insight about what exactly Nick is doing and what his plot is. Kind of a smart plot, I guess.
It's not the
Interesting
worst
way
one I've ever
to
heard.
yeah, interesting way to transport drugs. So yeah, I enjoyed the kind of intimidation that Cary was serving unto Nick, and there was no Nick Kalinda interaction this
I'm fine with
episode,
that. I'm fine
which
with
I
that.
was very very happy with. So you know, good on us for not having to deal with that today. Yeah, but we did have to deal with family.
We did have
Uh,
to deal with family.
yeah,
At the start of this episode, Owen is like around, which is always going to be like a family thing. But it turns out that Alicia's mom was coming to town, and she has been mentioned a couple of times in previous episodes. And I could not remember who she was portrayed by, but we do meet Veronica, played by
Stockard
my first
Channing.
lady.
Your first lady, Stockard Channing, because she was the first lady on the West Wing. Is that
Yeah,
what this
yeah,
is?
but yeah,
Okay.
my fantasy one, my real one is Michelle Obama still, but like, um, in my fantasy world, Mrs. Bartlett. Yeah, Stockard Channing.
Yeah. Also in Greece.
Yes, Rizzo.
Rizzo in Greece. And like I
And
said, the
like a
West
bunch of other
Wing,
things.
bunch of other stuff. Listen, I think if you would have asked me before we did this, podcast about Alicia's mom, I might have been able to place the face. But now that it's back and I'm seeing like this was like really, really, really great casting. This is
Oh,
like
so good.
so good.
So good. So good. So good. Veronica's kind of like, free spirit, which
Yeah.
kind of explains why Alicia is not,
Mm-hmm.
because she would have to like, basically she's the eldest daughter. She had to eldest daughter her entire life because her mom was out and about, her
Kind
dad
of a
left, like
parentified child in a
yes,
way. Yeah.
exactly, exactly. And Alicia's back in town. She hasn't been around or Veronica's back in town because she hasn't been in 2 years. Oh, and also, her latest husband died and cut her out of the will, and so she needs like Alicia. And Owen's been saying just like how great of a lawyer that Alicia is, so she's the only one who could really help with this.
Yeah, I love how kooky Veronica is because she shows up. She's like, "Oh, I got his will. He left everything to me." Alicia looks at her for like 1 second. She's like, "Mom, this is a summons that you missed yesterday, and apparently you've been cut out of the will entirely." She's like, "Oh, really? Huh? Interesting."
About that, yeah, so funny, so hilarious. And at this point, we don't see Malcolm because obviously he has passed away, but his son does not like Veronica
At all.
one bit, and he is claiming that Veronica cheated. And this is so funny because Veronica told Owen that she did cheat, and then Owen told Alicia, and so now they're in this like, okay, what happens? And Owen is going to get called later for a summons for a dissertation in this situation, but she did end up cheating, and so Alicia's like, I know just the person to help you, Mom. I got
Yeah.
this. David Lee is loving it.
David Lee is in his best. He's in his bag. He loves these type of cases. I really enjoyed the Veronica David Lee meeting. As these two kind of like over the top personalities meeting together.
Well, she was a little flirty, no?
A little, I mean, a little
A
bit.
little flirty, and they were like
David's
having
also like
M&Ms.
David's also into it. He's like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
you we're kind of sparring back and forth.
Yes. Let's also talk about Veronica's entrance into the law firm as a whole when she goes to meet David Lee, because like they're talking, they have the M&Ms, and then she sees Will and Owen talking together and thinks, oh my God, Owen must be having a new boyfriend or something. Let me go over and introduce myself. And Alicia isn't there yet. She walks in later, and I just thought that was such a fun
So
little
good.
moment of, a mom thinking, like, wanting to cheer on Owen, and then it's also her daughter's ex-boyfriend, basically. So
And I just loved it. I love a couple times in this episode. It was Alicia walking into a conversation that Veronica was having with somebody and be like, "Oh my god, you're so embarrassing. I need to get you out of here."
Yes. Yes.
Like, mom, this is my boss slash former lover that you're embarrassing me in front of. Let's get you out of here.
Well, and Will is like, so this is your mom. Like, like they don't have that conversation, but the vibe is definitely like, I'm so enjoying talking to your mom.
Yeah, it's like if we
Oh,
were
great.
still doing the thing, I'd make fun of you about your mom, but we're not. So I'm just gonna be like, mom's real interesting.
So as we were talking about, Malcolm's son is pressuring Owen to testify. Like basically it gets him a summons to testify in this dissertation, in this probate hearing. And Owen's like, what should I do, Alicia? Because like I know things. And Alicia's like, get out of town, just tell the truth. Like, why are you even
Yeah.
talking to me?
Alicia's like, what do you mean, Owen? Do what I would do. Be a goody goody and tell the truth. I do also love where, because Alicia knows that mom admitted to Owen, she tries to tell David this. And David's basically like puts his head up like, la 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 la, I don't hear you. I don't hear you. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, stop telling me things. Because she tried to tell David, like, no, David, you don't understand. My mom actually cheated on this guy. He's like, blah la 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 la, I don't hear you. I don't hear you. And he's like, Veronica's going there and tell Veronica's her version of the truth, which is that she did not cheat on this man, and that's all to it. Do not tell anyone else what you know. Like, lay off it. Like, we listen. We know that David is not above people perjuring themselves, him perjuring himself. He not above it. He don't care. I don't know what Alicia thought she was accomplishing by telling him this. He's like, why are you like,
don't mess with my magic.
Shut the hell up. Like, do not say anything else. Like, you are too goody for this. Like, stop. I love that from David.
And she go, well, first of all, Owen gets on the stand and he does a good job of answering the questions he is asked.
Well, no, he flat out lies.
Did he lie? I thought he was like, okay, like he didn't.
No, he flat out lied because they're in the deposition.
Yeah.
And the lawyer for the son is like, so the son tells me that you told him that Veronica was cheating on his dad. Is that true? Owen goes, no, that's not true.
Oh,
and the guy's like, you're lying. And Alicia, who I think recognizes the spot that Owen's in, because I think Owen probably has this, like, if I was to guess about the family structure that Owen and Alicia had, Owen was probably closer to their mom, Alicia's probably closer to their dad or something. Yeah. So Owen feels this like duty to his mother, and Alicia kind of looks at him like, oh, you're still that poor sweet little boy that doesn't want to disappoint mom, doesn't want to let mom down.
Well, and also, like, just from the eldest daughter perspective, like, if mom has no money, she's gonna have to live with me. You know what I mean? Like, if me, I don't know if Owen was thinking about this as like, but if she gets this, then she doesn't have to be around us as much. You know what I mean? Like,
I thought it was more about like loyalty. I thought it was more about loyalty to mom.
It probably was.
Like, I'm mommy's little boy. I can't disappoint her, so I'm going to do what she wants me to do and lie in this moment. And I think Alicia kind of like sees that. She doesn't. I don't think she holds anything against Owen for lying, because she kind of looks at him like, oh, you're still that little sweet boy.
And then she gets up and leaves, though. She's like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, because she has to attend to her other case, because she like literally has to like run over because she sees Bucky coming into the office. She's like, oh, let me go figure out what fire I got to put out over here.
Yes. And then Veronica does testify. She says, I flirted, but I didn't cheat.
Well, that's not her testifying. That's just her talking to Alicia. Of like, I didn't cheat per se, but you know me, I'm a big flirt. Like, you know.
And I mean, as you get older, is this a defense that like your memory is unreliable?
I guess. I mean, listen, Marissa, you're not even that old, and your memory's going. So
I know today's been rough. Okay, like I will admit today has been rough. It's just I have no excuses. It's 2025, but yes.
I do love when Veronica is like in Alicia's house. She's doing that thing where she's being like very subtly judgy, like not like, oh, you picked that pattern for your thing. I wouldn't have, but it's your house. You go right on ahead. Like,
yeah. Well, and then also like they have a really frank conversation about Alicia's life. Like, what are you gonna like? are you mad at me for pursuing love? Why can't you pursue love? Like, what's up with
Yeah.
love? And this sticks in freaking Alicia's mind enough, that during the we get to Thanksgiving dinner and everyone's coming in. Jackie comes with her attitude of like, it's so nice of you to finally show up. The kids were wondering if
Oh
they had
man.
another grandmother, and Veronica like knows Jackie's game and is like, bye.
No, well, and it's so fun to watch Jackie and Veronica spar because they're both kind of giving it as good as they're getting because you know, Jackie has Christian, who Jackie and Christian are doing very well
Whatever.
together. Where Jackie's like, "Oh, it's great that you're here. The kids are wondering where their other grandmother was," and Veronica's like, "Oh, it's so great that you have a young companion. You don't have to beg for it anymore." And she goes like, "And I know people in your family love to pay for companionship." It's like, "Oh snap!"
Yeah, that was good.
It was
That
so
was
good. I love them sparring and trading barbs. I really loved it. Uh, um,
well, and Veronica's like hello to Peter was just like,
yes, very cold.
uh-huh. Yep. Has see Veronica. Love her. Oh,
She made a good. She made a good stock. She made a good stock, and
yeah.
yeah, and Veronica, who she's having this. I think she can. Her point of view is that Alicia should not be sticking to Peter. Like Peter hurt her. Alicia should be doing what she
Yes.
wants to do, and
Yes.
Alicia is stuck with Peter. That's why she won't pursue Will, who she knows.
She has that whole conversation with Peter.
Yeah,
Like,
and
let her go.
you let her go because and when Veronica and Alicia were talking, and it's funny because she's like, you won't even let yourself go after this guy at work, Will, when you obviously have a crush on him, which is because Veronica brings up Will to Alicia, and Alicia is like, Owen, what have you done? What did you do? Like, did you tell her I slept with Will? She's like, no, I just told mom that you have a crush on Will. And so from Veronica's standpoint, she's like, you won't even let yourself, be happy and go with this Will guy. Listen, mom, little do you know, Alicia and Will were
She will sometimes. And then she'll get scared. And then she'll say to herself, I know how I will show it to you, mom. I'm going to take Peter into the bathroom and we're going to have sex on the toilet because that's sanitary. And
yeah, because it's like, mom, you don't know anything because I was banging Will for quite a while. So save it. I did do what made me happy for a while, and then I decided not to. And now, just to piss you off, I am going to bang Peter in the bath. Listen, we talked about the Good Wife pushing network boundaries before. This
one, yeah.
it was quite a scene where Alicia, when Alicia's got that determined Terminator look, something's going on. She calls Peter to the bathroom, takes her pants off, which is like, okay. We don't see
Peter's
the bottom
like,
half.
what are you doing?
Yeah, he's like, what's going on? What's happening? She's like, she sits him on the toilet and
lowers herself onto Peter.
Starts
there's this hesitation.
Starts writing.
Yes.
We'll just say that.
Yes.
On the toilet. Peter's like, the door's not unlocked. She's like, she's like, is this about your mother? She's like, I don't give up. And we hear sirens outside.
She goes, is the door open? I don't care. Is this about your mother? Uh-huh.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And that was, it was like, good. At least Peter is not it's not for you, Peter. It's her own.
But listen, if I'm Peter, I don't care what this is for. This is happening, and it probably hasn't happened. Well, I don't know. What do you think this has happened, or is it the last
outside of a bathroom? I don't know.
Well, we don't we've gotten hints at how their quote unquote relationship is going. Have they banged since before she found out about Kalinda?
I don't think so.
Yeah. But this was
no, they did. They had that other thing in the bathroom.
But that was before she found out about Kalinda.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Where he was being weird and creepy, right? That's what we're talking about.
Like a normal.
Yeah. But yeah, this was quite something. I also love the Christian and Jackie stuff where Peter's like, so how's my mom? He's like, oh, she's doing great. She's doing awesome. He's like, okay, cool.
She's like, even extended by hours.
Like, is that necessary? He's like, no, it's not. And Peter's obviously like weirded out and like, okay, what is going on here? And you can just tell that Jackie is like has the eyes for Christian. So
Well,
funny.
she loves anyone who's going to give her attention, really.
Yeah.
But I really hope this is not, I cannot remember, but I hope it's not the last we see of Veronica, because if we're going to have Jackie, I need a Veronica to like balance it out, or I need both of them to spar with each other a lot.
Well, yeah, I looked up the IMDb on Veronica. She's going to be here. Like,
Yay.
not a whole lot, but she's a lot more episodes than I thought she would be in.
That's exciting because I just finished my West Wing rewatch. So I need to, keep some Stalker Channing around. She's amazing, Stalker Channing. Love her.
She's great. She's so fun in this. And I love to see like where Alicia came from and why she is what she is, which is to be a stark contrast to her mother because of whatever childhood she went through.
Well, and it also, I think, sheds light on how Owen is the way that Owen is, because like Owen probably had Alicia to allow himself to be himself and like be free and freelance. And sometimes, Alicia has moments like when she stood on a car outside. Remember when she stood on the car on their road trip? Yeah, to get Wi-Fi, or like she has moments of riskiness and stuff like that. So
yeah, and I think we see the most vulnerable Alicia when she's with her family, with Owen, with Veronica here. I think that's the most when we see the real Alicia, or the past Alicia, I should say, maybe, is when she feels the most kind of like herself, I think.
Also, classic grandma move to bring a giant giraffe.
Yes, we better see that giant giraffe somewhere else in the show. Like, where's in Grace's room and we see the giant giraffe in the corner.
Well, as per mentioned, my memory has been pretty rough this week. So, Jason, did I miss anything? Is there anything else we need to touch on? Or do you think we've wrapped up episode 9?
I think we've got it. I think we're good. Do you want to tell the people where they can find you and what you're up to these days?
Yes, sure. You can find me at itsmemarissag.com, where I have links to all of the podcasts that I'm on, including this one. You can find a link to our YouTube channel if you're not watching us on YouTube, or if you're watching us on YouTube, you can find a link to the podcast. Whichever way, we like, you be you. There's no defense of podcast listening here. Like, we don't discriminate. You call it a podcast on YouTube, that's fine. I'm not going to get mad at you. Like, some people are really mad about that. I'm not one of those people. You can also hear me on the Whirlwind Podcast Network talking about Pretty Little Liars, when previously on at a time, or with my sister on the USS Sisterhood and our final frontier of watching Star Trek The Next Generation. We're just about to start up season 3, which just brings us to, Jason, the year 1990.
Wow.
So
I wasn't even born yet.
You were too. You're not that younger. You're not younger. No.
What do you? What?
Don't do that to me. Don't play with my brain. My brain's
about.
already in a nappy state anyway. Like, I think I took too much magnesium. But yeah, the 90s. You were alive for a while.
What? No.
Not as much as me, but a while.
I don't know what you're talking about. I am a young, effervescent person.
Well, you're much younger than I am, because I'm the one staying home watching Ken Burn documentaries.
That's not an age thing. That's just a nerd thing.
It's true. They're so comforting. It's like, it comforts my nervous system. Anyway, Jason, that's what's going on with me. Maybe a little bit more than I needed to share, but what's going on with you?
Hit Marissa up. She's obviously going through something. You can find me talking about the show Married at First Sight on a number of different platforms. You can find me on the Wiretaps Podcast Network, on the Love at First Sight feed, on the Perfect Match Podcast. A lot of names, I know. Stick with me. If you type in Love at First Sight, you'll find it. We're talking about the wrap-up to Married at First Sight season 19. We just had the Decision Day and Reunion podcast that we did. So that is wrapping up the season for now. You can also find us on Patreon at the same podcast, Perfect Match, patreon.com/Perfect Match Podcast, as we talk to different guests about the season that's been going on. So check that out as well. You can also find me on the podcast Altar Call, as I talk with Tane, who was a guest on this podcast not that long ago, as I talked to her about the reunion episode of Married at First Sight season 19. That's where you can find me. Listen, if you need to know my thoughts on the end of Married at First Sight 19, there are so many places you can go this week to find it. But yes, that's where you can find me. That's where you can find Marissa. And until next episode, stay good.